Hey everybody, good afternoon, happy Monday, and today we have some reviews. However, I am very behind on reviewing these movies, and that's all because I decided to dive into The Walking Dead. I'm about halfway through season 3 at the moment. I'm loving the show. It is fantastic thus far. Very happy I did decide to finally start watching that series. But because I did dive into it, I just completely forgot to review everything that I was watching before I started watching The Walking Dead. So, none of these movies are really fresh in my head, which I usually prefer them to be. I usually try to review everything within a week of watching it, but some of these I watched like 3 or more weeks ago. So, again, they're not really fresh, but I will do my best to remember what I watched and my thoughts on them. So, here we go, I suppose. This should be interesting. So, first up is Brawl in Cell Block 99. This was great. This I remember because I loved this film. Vince Vaughn was fantastic in it. It did a really good job of capturing that kind of like 1970s like exploitation like prison movie. It very much had that type of feel, but with a modern kind of twist and look to it. So it didn't really feel like I was watching, you know, a vintage movie. It felt like I was watching something that was shot just recently, but it had that feel and that style, and it really paid homage to those style of movies, and I thought it was just fantastic. Did a perfect job. Plenty of practical special effects in this. Some people seem to have an issue with the end scene. I won't give it away, but the last scene is a practical special effect, and like 20 of you guys like contacted me to say, what do you think of that? And I was like, it was great. It was a practical special effect. I'm happy it was done. I loved it. I thought it was amazing and really just added to the movie. I love that last scene of what happens to Vince Vaughn. So it is great to watch this guy who, you know, a little bit down on his luck and whatnot, you know, but again, not doing necessarily horrible, but just getting kind of mixed up in the wrong things, and then that all snowballing and escalating. And again, he's not necessarily a horrible bad guy. In fact, he does try to kind of do the right thing a little bit, but at the same time, not like necessarily snitch. But he gets himself into some pretty deep trouble, and it just, again, it really does snowball, and finds himself being kind of like, what's what I'm looking for, extorted and whatnot. So pretty horrible what's happening to his wife. There's a lot of craziness going on in this movie. It's horrible to see what Vince Vaughn is going through, but to watch him like get his revenge is pretty sweet. So again, this movie was amazing. I love the ending. I loved everything about this. If you're a fan of like exploitation prison movies, this is one you've got to see. It is just amazing. Vince Vaughn was fantastic. I love seeing Vince Vaughn in roles like this because I like Vince Vaughn, but it's kind of like Will Ferrell. You know, I like him as well, but I wish these actors would do more like roles like this, because you kind of get sick of them playing the, you know, I get sick of Vince Vaughn being, it's another Vince Vaughn movie. You know, it just, you see them play basically the same character over and over and over again to the point where it gets a little stale. So to see him in something like this and doing a fantastic job at it, amazing. So Brawl in Cell Block 99, check it out. And while you're at it, reverse the artwork, because the artwork inside is so much cooler. In fact, did the Blu-ray have reversible artwork, or was the Blu-ray just this? I love that artwork. It's so cool. So again, great movie, fantastic, and cannot recommend that enough. So up next, I watched a horror movie that I had heard about over the years but had never actually seen, and that is Out of the Dark in this Shadow Stalkers 10 movie pack by Mill Creek. So again, a movie I had heard about, but had never actually seen. It's an 80s horror movie, and it was actually pretty good to watch these call girls being stalked down. Plenty of TNA, so it's very it's very 80s horror movie. I mean, again, lots of TNA, swearing. It's got some dirtiness to it. It definitely has that great 80s cheese. If that's your type of thing, which I mean, I love that type of thing in an 80s movie. It feels right. So it had all that. I guess my biggest problem is sort of the twist ending. I didn't really feel it was much of a twist. I kind of saw it coming, even when they tried to kind of fake you out at the end by like making it like, oh no, you thought it was going to be this, but it wasn't. It was this, but then it actually ends up being that. You kind of go, yeah, I sort of think I know where this is going, especially when the movie continues on. You're like, oh, I got like 15 minutes left of this movie. You know something's gonna happen. It's not just like it's just gonna end. So, yeah, the twist was kind of all right, but in the end, I thought it was great. Again, this crazy guy stalking down call girls. It's got some great characters, some great cheesiness. What's her name? Gosh, I'm drawing a blank from House of a Thousand Corpses and from, or was she in both of them? Yeah, House of a Thousand Corpses and, or was it just, why am I drawing a blank? If it's the same actress, I can't remember. Did she pass away? I'm drawing a blank now, but I know she's definitely in Devil's Rejects. Is that the same actress who plays was it Madame Firefly or whatever her name? I can't think of her name, even the name she plays in the movie, or her real name. You know who I mean, though. Why am I drawing a blank if that's the same actress in both movies? I want to say it's not. I don't know. I completely forget. Either way, she's in the movie, though, so that was fun. I know. My brain's going blank right now. So awesome. Again, great movie. I did enjoy it. Again, it's cheesy 80ness, so if that is your type of thing, if you like a good cheesy 80s horror movie, sort of slasher movie, I guess you could say, it is one to check out. Again, the twist might just kind of be okay, but it was fun. I would recommend it. Then I checked out Lifeguard. Oh my gosh. Kristen Bell looking very pretty there in the front. Again, the artwork is what sold me on this movie. Turned out to be actually pretty awesome. Kristen Bell's character is kind of going through this I don't want to say midlife crisis, but just kind of, she's sort of down and out. Her life isn't really where she wants to be. She's not really going anywhere in her job. She's hooking up with a married guy, her boss actually. Just, kind of, she's not happy with where she is. So she just kind of gets fed up, walks away from it all, goes back to her hometown, and gets a job as a lifeguard. She's living back with her parents, decides to get a job as a lifeguard back where she was a lifeguard years ago. And it's basically her as an adult back in her hometown. So she's meeting up with old friends and whatnot, but she ends up getting involved with these kids as well, these kind of troubled kids in this town, sort of like the punk rock skater kids, and brings her other friends kind of into this group as well. One of them's the principal of the high school, so these high school kids are hanging out with and doing stuff they shouldn't be doing with high school kids. The principal's now involved, and it kind of just, again, it snowballs. She gets involved with one of the kids who's pretty young, lucky him. Yeah, so again, it's a lot of just kind of her doing some not great things and bringing other people into these not great things, and how it's going to bring them down, and she's kind of bringing everybody down sort of with her until she kind of realizes, what she's got to kind of do with her life. There's definitely some tragic moments in this as well, so I won't give too much away, but some horrible things happen in this movie. But it's a really good, I would say, dramedy, but more heavy on the drama. It's a drama, but with some funny moments in it. So dramedy. I would recommend it. It was great. I did enjoy this one. If you like those sort of modern day, dramedies, this is going to be one to check out. You'll get a kick out of it. Okay, then a movie that, this is why I don't consider myself a movie reviewer. I know I'm reviewing movies right now for you, but I don't really consider this something I'm good at or even really enjoy doing all that much. I mean, you guys know for a while I completely stopped doing these videos because I just didn't really care much for doing them, but you guys kept asking me to, so I brought them back. And it's movies like this that make me go, I don't know what to say about a movie like this. A Ghost Story. This is a movie for a movie reviewer because it is very, very artsy. I kind of liked the movie. A lot of people talk about the pie scene. There is like a scene in this movie that goes on for like 5 minutes, if not longer than that, of a girl eating pie. A lot of people talk about that scene, and a lot of people are like, oh, but that scene, or either it annoys people, or people are like, oh, this scene was great because it really shows her her emotions and the fact that she's so upset over the loss of her, I can't remember if it was a husband or just a boyfriend. I honestly forget at this point. Again, it's been like 3 weeks since I watched this. So her significant other, we'll say. So it shows, how sad she is over the loss of her significant other and whatnot. And I guess I get that, but at the same time, I think they could have portrayed that in a 5 or however many, even more longer minutes of her eating pie. When I start picking up my phone and checking emails because the scene is not stopping, it's not a good thing. But besides that scene, there were other scenes that went on for way too long. There were just way too many scenes of just like static shots of stuff. And it's just like, why? Or, like the scene where the guy is dead laying on the like on the slab, and they just show him there for like it's like 5 minutes just focused on him until he finally sits up and whatnot. But like, was that supposed to shock us, or were we supposed to go, ooh, what's gonna happen? Is he gonna move? Is something gonna happen? Is something weird gonna happen? Like, maybe they could have been going for that, but don't make me stand there or sit there and watch him for like 5 minutes laying on this slab. At that point, I don't care what happens. 5 minutes into it, I don't care if a bug lands on the screen. I just want to see something. It's not going to shock me anymore because I'm so sick of watching what I'm watching. There's a scene where they're in bed together, and I thought it was going to like lead to a love scene or something like that, but they just start like kissing, and they like kiss each other very awkwardly for like 5 minutes. And it's like, what? Just these weird scenes like that. I guess they had their reasoning, and I'm sure somebody more into this stuff would be like, oh, well, that scene was done for this, and it represents that, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine, but I just thought it was kind of unnecessary. But I did like the idea of the movie, of this guy passing away, and him haunting this house, and the idea that ghosts have feelings, they can see what's going on. They know if, your significant other, brings back a new guy to the house, things like that, or if new people move into your house or stuff like that. I like that. There's like a poltergeist kind of scene in it, which is pretty cool. So I love the idea of this ghost haunting the house, and you're seeing all this stuff basically through the eyes of this ghost, and the fact that he still has feelings, he still knows kind of what's going on and everything like that, and he can take in his surroundings and get what's happening, and I like that. That was interesting. That was very cool. And then the movie gets still kind of interesting, where the house gets torn down, and he's still there, but at this point, I don't know, the movie also starts to get kind of weird towards the end. And this is the part that kind of bugged me. Like, I liked where the movie was going. And then it got to the thing where, like, all of a sudden, like, the house gets torn down, and now he's in the future. And he's, like, haunting this, like, office building. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, this office building was built on the spot of his house, so he was still haunting the area. Like, maybe that's what they were going for. Okay, but at the same time, nothing really interesting happens while he's in the office building, so whatever, he ends up jumping off, and then when he jumps off the office building, now he's in the past, and we're seeing him, like, on the same land of his house, but back in, like, the pioneer days, and his family gets attacked by Native Americans, and it's like, how did he go back into the past? Like, I don't get that. Like, I understood the future, because in my mind, I thought, okay, we just fast forwarded the film. Like, he's been standing on this spot, for the past, however many years it's been since his house has been torn down, and they're in the future now, this office building. Like, I just assumed, again, he was just there in that spot for all this time. Like, that was my assumption. But then he goes back to the past, and I'm like, that's weird. And then when he goes back to the, okay. And then when he goes back to the past, the house ends up getting built back up, and he sees, like, his old self and his significant other move into the house. And then things we saw in the beginning of the film when they thought maybe the house was haunted, like the noise on the piano, turns out to be him all along. How is he in his own path? Like, what? Again, it's an artsy film. I guess I'm just missing something, but I like the concept of this ghost haunting this house and this ghost having these feelings and being able to take in his environment and see what's going on and his emotions during all this. I love that idea. I just kind of hated the last part of the movie where everything just sort of went strange. I didn't like that. So, would I recommend this movie? Again, it is very artsy, so if that's not your thing, stay away from it. But a lot of people did love this movie. For me, I just kind of thought it was okay. I love part of the I love kind of the main idea of this movie, and then it all just sort of fell apart at the end, in my opinion. So, could have been really cool, but it ended up just kind of being okay. It's certified fresh, so people on Rotten Tomatoes seem to like it, but I don't know. I just thought it was okay. That's why I don't review movies. So then I checked out another certified fresh movie, Logan Lucky. And this one, I can talk more about. This one I did love. I am a big fan of like heist movies. I can't get enough of them. They're so much fun. And I love this one. It was executed great. Had some very funny moments. And it's great watching this cast of characters all come together to pull off this big heist. And I just, again, I don't really have too much to say about this movie because it is a pretty simple premise. It's just, it's a heist movie. If you've seen one heist movie, you've kind of seen them all for the most part. But again, it's a really well done one with a great cast of characters, very funny moments, some great tense moments as well during the heist when things might not go as planned and whatnot. And of course, the very ending, they almost kind of leave it open. I don't think we're gonna get a sequel, but I do kind of like that at the end of the movie, you're kind of like, ooh, what's going to happen now? Like with this like FBI agent who's there. I won't get too much away. But there's an FBI agent, and you're like, no, what's going to happen? So I loved it. Thought it was really well done. Again, I'm just a big heist fan, so this is my type of movie. So if you're a fan of heist movies, yeah, definitely check this one out. I think you'll get a kick out of that. And then the last movie here I have to talk about is Unearthed and Untold, The Path to Pet Sematary, and this really cool Blu-ray DVD combo pack. This thing's awesome. Sent to me by a viewer. Actually, I got this through a trade. This was great. If you're like me and you really enjoy the movie Pet Sematary, then yeah, you're gonna get a kick out of this. Goes into all like the shooting of it. I mean, they shot the whole thing in Maine and whatnot on location. They're talking to people who like own the house they shot in, people from the town, the actors, the actresses. I mean, they're talking to all these people. The people who like the set designers and the director and all. They're talking to everybody and doing all these great interviews with like everybody involved in the movie or anybody who like kind of even saw the movie happening, getting their thoughts on all these different parts. And it's great to watch the process of how this movie actually almost did not get made. It was kind of pushed for a while, and the studios were just like, no, and then kind of were like, fine, we'll do the movie. And then it became a huge hit. So great, just fantastic documentary all about Pet Sematary. So if you are a big fan of the movie, as you should be, it is one of the best Stephen King movies out there, in my opinion, then yeah, you will get a kick out of this. Again, fantastic documentary, and I am a big fan of documentaries. It's my all-time favorite genre of film, and especially when you mix horror, my second favorite genre, with documentaries, I'm in heaven. So I would highly recommend this. I do believe it is getting a more like wider release very soon, I think. So you should be able to get this in stores very soon. Again, a much bigger release is coming. I think it's like a special edition release or something like that is coming your way soon. So be on the lookout for this. If you don't already have it, pick it up when you can, because again, it's really well done, fantastic, and I cannot recommend this one enough. Wish they would have talked about the sequel a little bit though, because I love part 2. I think Pet Sematary 2 is amazing. It's a great 80s horror film. I know maybe there's not as much to talk about as there is with the original, but I wish they would have said at least a little something. I don't know. Anyway, still fantastic movie. definitely check it out. Great documentary. This will be one I'll watch over and over and over again. A lot of you guys commented on the artwork when I showed it in my video. I agree. I like the artwork, but you would never know this is like a Pet Sematary documentary other than, you know, even the title actually is kind of a little like, what? The Unearthed and Untold, The Path to Pet Sematary. You might not even know that's like really a documentary. You might just think they're capitalizing off the name. Yeah, it doesn't really scream documentary, but I don't know. I kind of like it. I enjoy the skeleton in the coffin with a VHS tape. That's pretty awesome. I should get that tattooed on me. That's really cool. So, all right, guys. Anyway, there you go. That is it. That is everything I've recently checked out. Like I said, I am also working on The Walking Dead, making my way through that now. So I'm about halfway through season 3. So when I get finished, I guess season 8 or 7 or 8, I forget what season I have up to on DVD or Blu-ray. When I get up to that season, I'll probably give my thoughts on everything I've seen thus far. So stay tuned for that. But all right, guys, again, that is it. There you go. So as always, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Be sure to hit that like button down below. Also, if you want to see a brand new video from me every single day, hit that subscribe button and you're going to get one. Also, be sure to check out Patreon, where you can help support the show. The simple donation of $1 a month really does help out, goes a long way, goes right back into these videos, and it does gain you early access on most of my videos as well. Also, be sure to check out Spreadshirt, where you can grab yourself many designs of Cinema Sickness t-shirts and hoodies and tank tops and buttons and all kinds of really cool Cinema Sickness gear. Again, proceeds do help the show. And as always, definitely check out the Cinema Sickness store on Instagram, where you can pick up all kinds of awesome media. Again, proceeds really do help out, are the most appreciated and the most important. Links to everything can be found down below in the description of this video. So again, that is it. Thanks for watching. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Hey guys, before I go, I actually have a bonus review for you. I just finished up watching Batman Gotham by Gaslight. I watched my ultraviolet copy. I do not have a physical copy yet. I will soon. But I found it to be very mediocre. I was not blown away by the movie. First off, it's kind of weird when it takes place. It's basically like 1800s London with Jack the Ripper, but it takes place in Gotham City, USA, which is weird because we're definitely in America. We're not in London. I mean, they show American flags at one point, so we are in America, but it's America. I don't know. I guess Gotham City was like a little London back in the day or something like that. Everybody dressed, was dressed that way. The building, everything about it was 1800s London, and Jack the Ripper was there as well, apparently. So really kind of bizarre to start the movie off like that. But one of my main problems was all the fan service. It drove me crazy. Of course you have Batman, but then there's Selena Kyle, and there's Poison Ivy, and Harvey Dent, and all kinds of other characters that just keep popping up like throughout the film. They of course have to be like, oh, hello, yada yada yada. Like they have to say his full name because you're like, oh, that's supposed to be that person, and that's supposed to be that person, and blah blah blah. So I felt that there was a lot of fan service, a lot of like name dropping, which kind of was like, was that really necessary? Did they have to put all these characters in this movie? No, they could have probably just gone with, I would say maybe Batman, I guess Selena Kyle did play a pretty main part, so I guess they could have used her. And then there's a commissioner. They could have been like the three main people that they could have like kept in, and everybody else could have been somebody new for all it really mattered. They didn't have to make all these like name drops and whatnot. So again, the story was kind of weird. Batman going after Jack the Ripper. It just wasn't really all that great. Again, the story was very kind of mediocre. I didn't think it was all told that well. No real amazing action scenes, in my opinion. The twist ending was like, I wasn't really blown away by that either. So as far as Batman movies are concerned, there are much better animated Batman movies out there. And I love DC animated movies, and especially the Batman ones. They are my all-time favorite. Any DC animated movie or anything at all in the world that involves Batman, I'm on board because I just love Batman. But this one, although I wouldn't say I hated it, I'm not going to say don't check it out. It is definitely at least worth a watch. I would say that it definitely falls in the category of just mediocre, not nearly as good animated Batman movies. There are much better ones that I would recommend before I recommend Gotham by Gaslight. Again, it was just kind of a weird movie. I don't really understood why they had to make it the way it was. Again, I just don't understand the whole, why Jack the Ripper? Like, it was just so weird. I mean, I understand the fact that he's trying to like hunt down this killer and whatnot, and I mean, okay, they had to have some kind of premise. You know, why does Batman become who he is, and why is he hunting this person down, and just Jack the Ripper? Like, why are we in 1800s London? But we're not. We're in Gotham, USA. Anyway, weird movie. Wasn't the biggest fan. It was just okay. Again, if you're a big fan of DC animated movies or Batman movies, check it out. You might enjoy it to at least some extent. I didn't hate it. I'm glad I watched it. I just don't really see myself rewatching it, at least not many times. Maybe I'll give it another chance somewhere down the line, but no time soon will I be watching Gotham by Gaslight. I just, again, thought it was kind of mediocre, had some issues, took place in a weird time, all the name dropping, could have done without that, and just, all in all, I felt more effort could have been put into the movie, and a better Batman movie could have been made. So anyway, at least give it a chance if you are a Batman fan. But all right, guys, again, that is it. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.